Gary E. the Commanding General of the United States Army Special Operations Command.
Well, just another average day. It's unbelievable. General Vano, Secretary Locker, General Lindsay, Sergeant Major Julius Gates, distinguished visitors and honored guests, and most importantly, the soldiers of the newly created United States Army Special Operations Command. It's an honor to be a part of this historic occasion. The activation of the United States Army Special Operations Command. It really makes me feel good all over just to be here, let alone be designated and honored to be the Commanding General. The establishment of this command, as all of us know, is evolutionary. The Chief talked about it, the SINC talked about it. Special operations have played a vital role in our nation's defense since the beginning of our country. They've been employed by our leaders in every major conflict, and they've always performed magnificently, many times without recognition, but never driven by recognition for that performance. As we view the television reports nightly, we see how the changes that are out there are having an impact on us. We're influenced by perestroika. We're influenced by this and that. And daily we read about the articles calling for massive troop reductions as well as for major cuts in defense spendings. But as all of this world out there changes, we must remember that the United States Army continues its role regardless as the nation's strategic force. I've read and heard General Vano comment on numerous occasions that the Army is the nation's strategic force and our borders are global and we have a global responsibility. Special operations soldiers in that regard must remember that they are not only a tactical force but are also a strategic force. Our command has missions that reach across the entire operational spectrum. Whether it's foreign internal defense and low-intensity conflict or special reconnaissance in global warfare, Special Operations Command soldiers have a vital role in our nation's defense regardless of the nature that's required for that defense. USASOC will serve as a Special Operations focal point for the total Army. The active Army, the National Guard, and the Army Reserve Special Operations Forces now have a single headquarters responsible for their organization, training, logistics, and readiness. As a major command, we will report directly to headquarters, Department of Army, for service matters and for other things as desired by the boss. Operationally, we will be the Army component for United States Special Operations Command at MacDill, commanded by General Lindsay. As I look around and see all the distinguished visitors here, many of whom served in special operations over the years, both in peace and in war, I share with you the enthusiasm for seeing this command stood up today. It gives me a source of deep pride, and I know it does you. We are not a Special Forces Command or a Green Beret Command. We are a Special Operations Command. From direct action units that nobody knows anything about to those with sophisticated communications and information dissemination equipment, USASOC provides this country a unique capability, a capability that can support conventional or conduct unconventional operations. We are the perfect force to lead the Army's strategic options in these turbulent times. The establishment of USASOC is not an ending, not a final step in the improvement of special operations. Our soldiers are the most dedicated our Army has to offer. Our equipment is the finest the country produces. I assure you we will continue our upward spiral. There are a lot of people responsible for the revitalization of special ops. Many of them here today were part of that effort, and I can't recognize each and every one of you. But I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize those who led the charge. General Lindsay's talked about them. He didn't include himself, so I'm going to talk about them again. 3 of them participated in this ceremony today. General Vono, General Lindsay, and Jim Guest all provided the impetus needed with their great staffs to make this happen. And retired General Pilastra, General Powell, and now General Burba at Forces Command took a hold of the rope and pulled in the right direction as well. I salute particularly General Vono and General Lindsay for having the vision and the positive support, or giving the positive support that made it happen. However, if it weren't for the drive and enthusiasm of Major General Jim Guest, we wouldn't be here today activating this Special Operations Command. General Guest and his staff never gave up in the difficult pursuit of activating this unit. There were and still are naysayers out there, but their doubts, and in some cases their outright pessimism, didn't deter Jim and his staff here at Bragg. Jim, the Special Operations community, soldiers, retirees, veterans, and civilians owe a lot to you. You're an outstanding warrior, and on behalf of everyone, thank you for what you did. Now it says here I'm supposed to make some personal remarks on promotion. The first thing they told me, I never read a speech before in my life. I just getting all dry-mouthed about it. But they said if you're a 3- or 4-star general, you have to do this. And I'm not sure it's worth it. But I was standing there trying to get my hat and everything ready yesterday, and I looked in the mirror and I did, the only thing I could think was, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, I never believed it. And then my trusted staff and everything, we bought the wrong kind of stars and everything, so that's, well, we got it almost together, and it's probably about as together as I am about this thing. I'm deeply honored and accept this promotion on behalf of everybody that made me look good over the years. My only strength is to have trust and confidence in people, and I've been lucky all the way along to work for people that were very professional, that could be trusted, and performed magnificently in everything they did. And then when they'd finish, they'd run me out in front and somebody'd say, hey, you really did a good job. And I guess the only thing I never was really truthful about, I probably always smiled and said, yeah, thank you very much. But I am very honored to be promoted. I'm just honored to serve the country. Very honored to be in the United States Army, and very honored to be back as part of the Special Operations Command. And I'm extremely pleased to see so many friends here today, and I thank you for coming, and I thank you for helping me along the way, and I promise you I'll give it my best shot, but the same deal pertains. You all got to make me look good, because if you leave it up to me, I'll probably screw it up. Thank you all for coming. Thanks a lot for the formation.